Welcome to Books for Success. Today, we're unraveling the insights from How to Get On with Anyone by Catherine Stothart. This book will discuss how our reactions to our thoughts can make a huge difference in our lives. It also examines most problems associated with personal relationships and how we can overcome them with simple solutions. Before we begin, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications. Don't be shy to smash that like button if you discover something valuable. Let's grow and succeed together. Let's start. Much of our perception of other people happens unconsciously. We automatically infer people's mental states from their face, voice tone, and body language. Our inferences may be correct or incorrect, and as this happens unconsciously, it is next to impossible to know which is which. Furthermore, when we feel threatened, the unconscious takes over, and the more primitive parts of the brain react with the fight or flight response. Faces and eyes are especially important, as our facial expressions often reveal our instinctive reactions to events. When talking to other people, our brain pays attention to the minute muscle changes in their expressions, and scientists believe that this is one way we send and receive signals about our emotions. We unconsciously mirror these expressions, and as a result, our brains experience and recognize the emotion our colleague is experiencing. Emotions are a part of who we are and what we do. With people, we sense emotions, even if we're not aware of them. We communicate emotions via facial and body gestures and voice. Intense emotions, like fury and excitement, manifesting as faster speech, finger tapping as impatience, etc. The other participant may or may not see these body clues. Even if they sense our feelings, they may not recognize them. Although styles define differentiating traits, they do not govern action. A person's character, education, and environment all impact their decisions. As well, no model of human behavior can capture our individuality. But merging individual variations into patterns helps us understand ourselves and others. This summary offers detailed methods developed by professionals on how to be better friends, lovers, colleagues, and acquaintances, resulting in happier relationships. Companionship can be both a delight and a source of difficulty in life. The things we do and say impact others in our immediate environment. On the other hand, we are not always aware of how our actions affect others. We can say the same about our ability to recognize and react to the feelings and ideas of others. Improved performance in these two areas will eventually lead to more rewarding relationships. The experience we gain should lead us to improve our emotional intelligence, self-awareness, and sensitivity to the needs of others. When individuals communicate with one another, they are more likely to fall into one of four categories: mobilizers, navigators, energizers, and synthesizers. By studying the four behavioral categories mentioned in the next chapter, we will have a better knowledge of ourselves and other people. Understanding these four categories can also help us to strengthen our relationships. We need to detect and manage the emotions driving our responses to behave in an emotionally intelligent way. The capacity to detect and appreciate the impact of our actions on others and the ability to read and comprehend their emotions and the motives behind their acts are vital skills to have. Did you know? According to a study by the Economist Intelligence Unit, poor communication is responsible for 31% of low employee morale. Our interaction styles determine our reactions to events around us. Human and organizational development practitioner Linda Behrens created the four interaction styles individuals might use in everyday interactions: mobilizers, navigators, synthesizers, and energizers. Mobilizers. They drive for action with benefits. They move and talk rapidly, and others see them as direct and determined. Unless the situation is dire, they don't pay much attention to how they come across to others. Their confidence and decisiveness may be seen as competent management or arrogance by one message receiver and sincerely listening or considering solutions by another. Navigators. They advocate for something. They move and talk slowly and deliberately, and others perceive them as serious and concentrated. Those with the navigator style are usually comfortable directing others. However, their actions suggest a directed preference. They might seem strong yet compromise, giving others room to misinterpret their messages, especially if they seem passionate and distant. Energizers. These people encourage participation by moving and speaking with more enthusiasm, and they are usually expressive and engaging. Energizers don't pay attention to their physique or speaking rate when conversing as long as the topic is relevant. Their expressions may seem overbearing, and others may seem then as hasty and unbothered. Synthesizers. They strive for the best outcome. They move and talk gently and are unpretentious and accessible. Synthesizers do not evaluate mannerisms, facial expressions, or bodily movements unless the incident is noteworthy, sending signals to the people they're communicating with. For example, if you appear calm, the receiver may misinterpret it as nice and friendly or that you have nothing to say. Some circumstances call for a stronger message, such as urgency or a desire to engage and excite people. Interaction styles change, and this may alter our conduct. All of these styles can be identified and worked upon by any willing individual. We all have assumptions about others, one of which is that everyone is the same as us. We often assume that others think or feel the same way we do and uphold the mindset that everyone sees things through our eyes, and we are surprised when they don't. We find it easier to connect with individuals who have similar histories and hobbies, but it doesn't imply they're the ideal fit for us. Our assumptions about others influence our attitudes and behavior. The actions we communicate with others and their responses lead to a healthy increased rapport and empathy or a poor spiral of decreased productivity, which happens swiftly and often without our knowledge. We can only select our reactions to things if we think deeply about them. We take up indications about other people all the time, sometimes without even realizing it. Making this process more aware increases our chances of accurately interpreting signals and reacting well rather than responding reflexively without conscious thought. Through practice, we may enhance our ability to detect the behavior of others. Pay attention to someone's energy and your reaction when you engage with them. Do you feel connected or distant? If you feel detached, modify your communication style to establish rapport. Remember that you can use different energy. Starting a new connection in neutral energy allows you to go up or down a gear based on your views of the other person. Your ability to transition to an initiating style by quickening your words and action or shift to a responding style by slowing down and taking your time will aid in developing rapport. Another method to interact with people is to consider their point of view. We naturally perceive things through our own eyes. However, we may shift our viewpoint to see a situation from the standpoint of another individual. It might be beneficial to examine a scenario as if you were an outsider looking in on both of you. Consider what an observer would see, hear, think, or feel in response to what you are doing and saying. A conscious change in the way we approach others can help increase our productivity. Even when no one else is nearby, our facial expressions send different messages. We react loudly and physically to sounds and texts, and our mental state, which we are sometimes oblivious of, impacts our behavior. Shanti, a team leader at a help desk, was dealing with personal issues, and her dissatisfaction was evident in the way she interacted with her personnel. As a result, the mood in her workplace shifted. The team's performance dropped from one of the highest to one of the lowest due to her behavior. Her manager eventually saw the problem and transferred her to a new position. The team's performance increased significantly when the company hired a new team leader. Your words, voice, and body gestures must be consistent. If they aren't, people may notice your tone and body language more than your words. A good approach to interacting with people is a model of input process outcome. Input. Input comes in 3 ways. Words. Try to appeal to emotions as much as the senses. Describe what you want, not what you don't want. Tone of voice. Consider the main words in your message, the terms you want people to remember, and make them memorable. You can get your point through in only a few well-chosen words. Body language. Be conscious of your body language while conversing and the signals it delivers. Process. The process involves certain steps. Building rapport. Finding similar ground, like shared interests, helps create rapport. It's simpler to disagree with someone without offending them when you already know them and share interests. Listening. Active listening entails asking questions, reflecting, and summarizing what the other person has said to indicate you have comprehended it. Outcome. The result of the first 2 steps is the outcome, and it can either be positive or negative. Everyone has a unique perspective on how they influence others. Knowing your abilities in persuasion boosts your confidence and allows you to utilize them more effectively. Believing that you are important, skilled, and likable helps you feel secure and improves communication. Self-regard is a conviction in your skill and worth. If you believe that you are always right, you'll fight for what you want at the expense of others, and your attitude may make others feel worse rather than better. If you have poor self-regard and believe everyone else is better than you will go along with what others want without expressing your requirements. You will avoid clarifying your stance or inquiring about theirs and will be on the wrong end. Finally, if you do not feel good about yourself or have little esteem for others, there will be no advancement for anybody, a bleak condition. To improve your self-regard, disregard put-downs from other people, allow praises from others to sink in, discuss concerns with others, seek their support, and give yourself some time every day to accomplish something important to you. To generate esteem in others, make an effort to see things from other points of view, show your admiration, control your criticism, search for the positives first, and remember that helping others feel good is more beneficial than making them feel awful. The mind and body are intertwined. What we think and feel influences the body and external conduct. We stand straighter, create eye contact, and speak more convincingly when we feel confident. People are more inclined to pay attention to what we express. When we feel inadequate, we bend, shrink within ourselves, and talk more hesitantly, and people are less inclined to pay attention to what we say. Conclusion. It is easier to get along with other people when we feel good about ourselves and others and when experiencing pleasant emotions and a sense of belonging. However, there are times when we face challenges that lead us to feel undesirable emotions such as annoyance, impatience, concern, and despair. These sentiments impede our capacity to get along with others. We all want to be around people who make us feel good. But even our friends may stay away from us when we have problems. So, we need to build resilience against whatever makes us feel less about ourselves and others. Resilience will serve as the ability to recover from the problems and disappointments that life throws at us while remaining optimistic. Sometimes we cling to beliefs that are harmful to our well-being and undermine our self-esteem. The capacity to detect when they impede our development and act as a brake rather than support us as an accelerator is crucial to growing confidence. We don't always offer ourselves a reward when we achieve our goals, despite evidence that rewarding oneself helps us feel accomplished and boosts our self-confidence over time. Instead, we move on to the next significant project. It is not essential to provide a substantial or monetary incentive to oneself. Just taking a few hours off to do something you like could be highly motivating. Resilience, energy, and confidence are related, and you will be stronger and feel more assured when you regulate your energy supply. This will help you make the most of your life, adding energy, enthusiasm, and unique appeal to your relationships. Try this. Make a note each time you say something positive or negative to someone. If your negatives outnumber your positives, ensure that you do better by praising more and celebrating your wins, no matter how small. Thank you for joining us on this enlightening journey. If you've enjoyed our summary, consider picking up the full book for a more in-depth exploration. Before you go, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't yet, and share this video with someone who could benefit from these insights. Until next time, keep reading, keep learning, and keep growing. Thanks for watching.